This is the Holistic Medicine Podcast, Episode 2, a podcast discovering the science and art of holistic medicine. In this second episode, I will again be talking to Jesper Westmark, who has been a meditation teacher and a trauma therapist for 25 years. We will be talking about the art of retreating, why it's necessary, and how it can benefit our mental and physical health. We will also be talking about COVID-19 and how to deal with anxiety or stress following this very special situation. I'm also hosting a retreat with Jesper Westmark at Margrethe Mindfulness Manor. For more information, visit mindfulnessmanor.com. Enjoy the podcast. Welcome to the Holistic Medicine Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Julie Morke. Hello and welcome. I'm here today at the Sjövik visiting Jesper Westmark in the Swedish woods. And before we get started with this podcast and video, Jesper is going to do a short guided meditation for us all to arrive in the present moment. Yeah, thank you, Jesper.
Thank you, Julia. So nice that you are here at Sjövik. And yeah, I like to start everything I do with a short meditation. So just follow me and my voice here into that deeper state of awareness of what we're doing. So just really to just let go and just take a deep breath and just close your eyes. And the first thing you want to do is put all your attention towards the breath. It means just be that observing part of you, looking at the breath. So for me, I like to just breathe towards the nose and watching it's colder when it's coming in. This body sensation of cold wind coming in towards the nose. And much warmer when the body is releasing that breath again. Shoulder, chest, stomach is moving, so this is the full breath. Cold in the nose, shoulder, chest, stomach. And just easy letting go again, stomach letting go, chest, shoulder, warm air in the nose. Really exhale, letting go. And this trust here to the breath, that you can just be that one observing this breath and to discover this trust you have to life itself. Right there in the breath, body is breathing and you are the observer. So it means you're letting go of the breath, so you're not the one breathing, but you're the one observing the breath. And here's the shift. So the shift is you observing something passing by. It could also be your thoughts passing by, it could be sounds passing by, this voice, whatever kind of voice is passing by, it could be your own breath. Maybe some emotion in the body where they are shown. You as the observer. Maybe energy passing by. And there it's discovering that something is passing by in something. Right here for the sound it will be silence. So silence has all the time been silence, but it's the space for every sound passing by. Like this voice right here, right now. in this present moment. All the time it's the cold wind coming in the nose, warm way of releasing again. You as the observer. Take a deep breath and then open your eyes slowly and remember to stay here with you. It means still looking at the breath, still being that observer, but open up your eyes. And their reality, as you know it, is appearing. And of course, you still there observing the breath. So welcome.
Welcome, Jesper, to the podcast.
Yes, it's nice.
And thank you for having me here at your beautiful retreat in Sweden.
Yeah, thank you.
We are actually neighbors. So
Yeah, we are neighbors. Yeah.
I'm living 1.5 hours from here.
And you're having a beautiful retreat place there.
Yeah. We're doing retreat together in July.
Looking so much forward to that
Me
retreat.
too. Very excited.
You be.
And today I would love to talk a bit about the current situation that we're in, because we are actually still in the middle of this Corona, COVID-19 situation that we've been in for the last 3-4 months. And I would also like to talk about the concept of retreating, like going on a retreat.
Yes.
And we will also talk about other interesting things like stress and anxiety, but I just want to frame a little bit where we are, like set the setting, because we're here in this incredible wooden meditation hall. Outside is the lake, a beautiful lake. Everything is blooming, the sun is shining on the leaves, and it's really a magical place that you have here, Jesper.
It is.
Do you want to introduce Sjövik before we start?
Yeah, Sjövik is a meditation place that I had for the last 25 years, and a lot of people is coming here to do meditation. So a big print in the physical buildings here, in the lake, in the forest, and so it's just, like I'm saying, it makes my job pretty easy here, because it's already in that meditated state, because we've done that for so many years here. So it's easy to become meditated here. And
it felt really nice just now.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Yeah. Oh,
great way to start.
Great way to start. Yeah, it's true. But yeah, that's what it is. And I'm actually been building a lot of it. And so, like I say, it's built for meditation.
Yeah, and it seems pretty perfect for it.
It's made for it. Yeah.
So, talking a little bit about this concept of retreating.
Yeah.
What does it mean? What is a retreat, and where does the word come from?
Yeah, it's a good thing. And then why do we retreat? It's a withdrawing. Yeah, it's like going back to maybe just be that observer of the world is passing by. And what is your world then passing by? And so maybe not so much out in the news, maybe not so much out in your friends, but more retreating into you.
Your world.
So your world, so you can see it as it is. This is much more what it is. So this awakening to who I am as that observer, and this is what we are retreating to, something which you have been and all the time have been in this present moment. And there you discover that is the love itself. So it's retreating back to who you are as consciousness, as love, as this present moment. And in that space, there's this knowing, this guiding towards your inner being, which is shining through. And it's about knowing how do you navigate in your life towards that love, which then will show you the way.
Because I was doing a little homework and looking up sort of like where the word came from. And it's actually really old. It's like 700 years old, and it means taking a step back.
Yes.
But then, of course, there were also the military retreats, like fleeing from the battlefield and retreating back.
Yeah.
And then there is what you're talking about, also the spiritual retreats,
yes.
which is also something that all religions and philosophies have been working with. Right? It's not a new thing.
It's not a new thing at all. No, it's something that's been here for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I think actually some of the practice that I'm doing by myself, I'm retreating in the forest by myself in isolation, has been known for shamans to do like very, very long time, and far back they know people. They found people in the ice also that have been on these vision quests where they were in isolation, and they were very, very old.
Yeah.
This is normal for shamans.
So the medicine men of the tribes and women, they would go to find wisdom and retreats. Yeah.
So they will open up a portal between worlds, so they can have this knowledge from nature and talking to the spirit in the plants, in the water, in the sky, in the earth itself, minerals.
That's magical.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see how you can find magic in life when you're connected to nature like you are out here.
Yes.
So do you think a retreat should be in nature or like close to nature?
You see, especially when we go into training to awaken ourselves, coming from an environment which is a city, retreating to nature itself, letting go. I think that's for a new beginner, for a startup, if you really lost yourself in the city or in your mindset, it's very good to do that in nature. But the more experience you're gonna become, you can change the environment also in the city, which is a different environment. But at some times you will be, I'm sorry to say that, polluted with that environment that you are in. You can't. So you need to go back to nature, and this is also part of it. You will go back to nature to reset, to retreat, and then we are in this more mind thing: the city, the work, the family structures, and all the stories, and all the TVs, all the diseases, all the wars. Escaping in that, and really can't really get grab on who we are deep down, because it makes so much noise.
So when we learn to retreat, like if we go for 4 days on one of your retreats, can we take that with us and do short retreats, like just breaks, meditations in when we're in our everyday lives? Is that possible?
Yes, of course it is. And that's also, like I'm saying, we go on a retreat and retreat to get it to work in your daily life.
Yeah.
This is all that matters.
Yeah.
Because or else we need to go and retreat all the time.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be nice. And for me, I am that a lot of the time. But of course, we're putting it into the breath. So in your daily life, that's also when we started this podcast, awaken yourself, use that breath. And then when you know what meditation is, you shorten it up. So it goes into one split, one breath. Here I am bringing all of that nature and bringing whole the retreat in, like I benefited from. Because the more we do things, the more talent we get for it. So remember, when we sit and doing retreats, we're making talents, and talent is going to be used in your daily life in that one breath.
We're practicing to be present.
Yes, yes, and be that observing part of us.
So I was just wondering, for me, being a medical doctor, and we offer a lot of treatments to people. This seems a little bit like a treatment to me, that you come out here and you connect with yourself and with nature. And is this kind of modern medicine or ancient medicine?
Ancient medicine, I guess so. I guess it's ancient medicine. That's how we have done it for a very long time.
Yeah.
This was. There's a reason why all the springs are holy places. They will go to places like that before you have doctors like we're talking about now. So these are actually the old traditions. The old shamans have spent their medicines, men and women, And all of that is so much about coming back to nature, to the plant medicine, to getting the guidance from all the elements, you can say that. And all elements is spirits. That's to understand that they are spirits inside the water, inside the minerals. And this is inside the plant. And these spirits are the beautiful healers combined with, of course, what we know. Let me put it that way around. If I break my arms, I'm not going to put plant medicine in that.
You're going to go
to a doctor that knows how to put that together.
Yeah.
You see? So it's just using the things in the right way and getting that balance of these medicines to work together. And of course, a lot of the medicine you already are using, it's coming from plants.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Many medicines, and especially now that I'm working with cannabis medicine, and that's also coming from the cannabis plants.
Yes,
so,
it is.
But do you see that you have visitors, guests here who are dealing with these kind of like modern lifestyle diseases like stress and anxiety? Does it help them to come up here and meditate with you?
Yeah, definitely.
See,
we only will discover this when we notice that we have lost ourselves. And this is so hard to see actually, because we think it's normal. We think it's normal to be just running around like a little, what is that little animal running? The hamster wheel.
Oh yeah.
We think it's so normal.
Isn't it normal?
It's normal, So we are trying to survive instead of living. And there's a way to awaken ourselves to be the life itself. So living instead of trying to survive life. And of course, this is the most important step, to notice that. And to note, I will have people saying, wow, I'm landing, because they know, wow, I know who I am. I'm here, but I need to land in myself. So this is an expression I heard many people saying during the years. I am landing. And for people to land in themselves when they're coming here really stressful, it takes from 24 hours and some is having a little longer flight in to put down that spirit contact in themselves, consciousness and awareness and there now I am here. And it's so easy to see. Sometimes I just want to take a picture when people are coming in and when they have landed. It's such a huge difference in the eyes.
I remember this from my own first retreat here, because I live between London and Sweden, and there I had been mostly in London for a very long time. And I flew in for your retreats and, flying in with, buses and cars. And the first couple of days I wasn't really actually here. I was just still somewhere flying in between. And so I can definitely recognize what you're saying.
So it takes to shift from that environment, which we are calling the normal, which I'm having a little normal. Yes, I think it's a little bit off, knowing who we are. To then come back to who we are and landing. This is here I am. I'm consciousness. I'm alive in this body. You see, when you see a dead body, you know it's dead. You see, there's nothing. But then you can be half dead nearly.
That's all.
Look at there's somebody in there. And then there's this, wow, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm present.
And you see it in people's eyes straight
yes,
away.
you see it straight
also
away.
when they're not there.
Exactly. It's more like a zombie coming in sometime. And that zombie state is quite normal actually to move. And that is creating so much stress in the body. It's so unhealthy for the body. It's really toxin for the body to live in that fear all the time. And this is what you awaken to, that it's all good.
So you have to recognize these things before it can get better.
Yes, you have to allow it also. That's how it is. And this is the mapping on the to knowing where you are. And I'm allowed to have it like this. You see, this is so important. And then get the right language, because it's the language and how you approach it and how you move with the mind and consciousness together is how easy it's going to be to even land, or even if you're going to succeed landing in you. And the way you do it, and the breathing and surrendering, because it's so much about surrendering.
So now during this period of COVID-19, and there's been so much change in many people's lives, maybe a lot of uncertainty,
Yes,
perhaps.
you can say that.
Maybe even fear.
Yes.
So it seems to me that as a human race, we're maybe not that good at dealing with changes that we can't control. Why is that, and how do we sort of learn to be better at that?
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing you're bringing up here. I like that, because to understand also that how do we get better to land in that, and how do we approach when something is really fearful, I'm threatened here to my life, and how am I going to deal with it? And this is, of course, the only thing that I will notice that really works. This is, of course, to go into these meditated states, because fear is created from you going out to future. And if there's something the ego really likes, is you dealing with something you can do absolutely nothing about. And what is something you can do absolutely nothing about is future. Because future is not real. So you're creating something which is not real. Of course, we are all gonna experience future. I know that.
Yeah. But it will be now.
But it will be now when you're experiencing it. You know. But this time, human setup of believing in time and future is gonna create a lot of fear. Because it can't maneuver out there, and nobody has ever seen or tried tasting anything out in the future. It's not. It's really. It's not there, and then we are afraid of something will happen with us in the future, and this is where it really escalates.
Yeah.
It really escalates into fear, and then you can look at all this news going on, and they will open it up even more and more.
Yes.
So it gets more fearful, and you will lose yourself even more. And this is what you lose yourself to. You lose yourself to the fear. You can't handle it. Of course, you're never going to handle it because you can't handle it in the future.
It's not in your control either. With COVID-19, we have very few things that we can do.
Yes.
Keep distance, wash our hands, but otherwise we do not have any control.
No, cannot do anything.
But the WHO, they actually recommended people not to watch the news too often.
Yeah.
And we know exactly where in the brain that this news will activate the fear center, the amygdala. So it will trigger anxiety. So do you also think it's a good idea to not be too absorbed into the news and the development of things?
It definitely. Of course, you should know these things. Wash your hands and whatever. But then again, to do a practice where you are bringing yourself, it means consciousness, that awareness part of you, instead of watching the news, will be 1,000 times better than sitting watching the news. So you know what meditation is. You will use that isolation you probably are having in your life, which is not real isolation, but it feels like violence to your body if you're not used to that. And then really surrendering towards that, and then exploring, what does this mean to me? What are these emotions? Because I'm telling you, it's just because you're starting to come back to who you are. You're starting to land in who you are, to be that awareness. But if you still are awareness about what's in the news and what happened, how many deaths and whatever, you're not coming in to who you are. You're just rebooting and getting more and more fearful. So
you can use the meditation to
instead
arrive in the present moment and be accepting of your emotional state and your thoughts and your sensations.
And also that will bring up your immune system much higher, because you will find yourself at a higher frequency, which is immune boosting a lot, which the other one, fear, will bring you down. and make your immune system even worse,
Yeah, and we have lots of science backing this. I mean, meditation, 10 to 20 minutes a day, it can really boost your immune system and increase the amount of natural killer cells. So at a time like this, it's a good tip.
It's a very good tip, and also you have different kind of meditation, but where you are seeing, visualizing, and you see these cells that can attack, then you really boost them. And you see they are approaching in and knowing that you are healthy, instead of, I think I got the COVID, I'm gonna die. Then you can actually kill yourself by just placebo here.
You don't want that. You don't want killing by placebo.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. So do the opposite. Do the one where you're putting your placebo towards I'm a healthy person. I am like this. Yeah.
And Jesper, I think it's probably quite natural that a lot of people are feeling anxiety at the moment, because I mean, this is a potentially deadly disease, even though it's not many people relatively who die from it.
No.
So, like, feeling anxiety is probably quite natural in the current. And so it's not about suppressing that, right? But how do you then deal best with these sort of like overwhelming feelings of anxiety?
Yeah. So some of them is your own, created by you. We need to understand these chakras that we have, like energy portals, but they are receiving and sending emotion. Just put it with that now. There's more to it, but just say these emotions are broadcasted and they're received. And we call them mirror neurons that we can put out, and you can receive these ones. This is a good way of explaining it. So to just really allow yourself, I am allowed to have this emotion, this energy, I'm allowed to stay present with it, and this is then embraced. I'm having it like this. And then when you see, the karma means everything has to come back to where it came from. So if you're pushing out a lot of it, you need to, it's coming back to you.
Coming back.
Yeah. So this is where you need to stop. You need to stop fearing this, and then you are not receiving it like this. And stop watching the news, which you see somebody they're suffering or something, because it's part of the feedback. It's coming back to you. So you need to understand that you can stop searching out here.
Yeah.
And you will stop finding, because the poverty has to fulfill itself in that way. So there you're actually just cutting and saying, no, I'm using this space for me to enhance who I am, and what I am right here in this present moment. I'm fresh, I'm alive.
Yeah.
This is how it is, but I have fear. Yeah. But that's quite normal for what we are experiencing right now. So even the collective is broadcasting a lot of fear, but I am now taking my own environment and having my space where I hold myself. And this is very important to understand. You can only hold yourself.
Yeah.
So trying to get responsible of others, this is very, very easy way to lose yourself also. No, I have to respond. No,
the fixer.
Fixer.
Let me help you.
Yeah. It's a very, you see, there the person is trying to help, but it's the only one who can't help because it's the fixer.
Yeah.
So you need to stand back and be the example instead of. So you need to be solid in you. You need to be present in you, and you need to be love itself. And there you're going to be that person which is showing the way.
That is so beautiful, yes.
Yeah. This is the way to do it. And it all comes down to, who you are as the observer, and the breath, and knowing what meditation is. It's so simple, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, for people who maybe don't know how to meditate so well, is it okay to find like guided meditations online?
Of
Where
course.
would you
use them? Use them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all over. I put some up. I have an online thing going on. I have a lot of retreats, because it is a little bit like seeing it on a movie. Of course, the mirror neurons will start to work, or else you wouldn't believe that emotion of the people on the movie. So it will start to work. But really to have these secrets, magical knowledge. We have to be close to each other like this. So be in in the same energy field.
And I can definitely recommend coming either to one of your retreats to learn how to meditate, or if you're not in Scandinavia, you can find your local community. There's so many places where you can learn the simple yet difficult art of meditating.
It's so true. And it's so simple actually to learn how to meditate. The problem is, how do you stay there? Yeah. And this is where I have a lot of guidance towards what is it and how to do it and where to start. And this is where you're gonna have a lot better success of implanting it into your environment and your programs. Because these are the programs you want running the show, instead of a program from the subconsciousness which has been there from your one and you don't know about, but they're just rebooting because you saw that's how we're going to do it. Now we go into these areas by being meditated, and here we're putting in a new, more beneficial program for you in terms of awakening yourself as consciousness and love itself.
So instead of reacting with anxiety and fear, once you teach yourself how to do these meditations and be the observer, you can break out of these kind of loops. I just want to pick up on what you said about mirror neurons, because that's actually something that we've known like for decades. Science discovered it by looking at monkeys who were copying exactly. And that's how we as humans learn intuitively from each other, like why, for example, you can actually feel more at ease and enlightened by being next to someone who's peaceful and calm and a spiritual teacher. And that's why it is important to meditate together and to have teachers who have walked the path a little bit further than yourself.
To be inspired.
We were talking in the beginning a bit about that a lot of people are in the hamster wheel, maybe feeling high levels of stress. I work a lot with these physiological and psychological effects of stress, but I would really like to hear how you see stress. Like what is happening? Why are we so stressed?
Why do we like it, first of all? Because that's what you see. That's back in the days when it really became popular to have stress. It was like, wow, that guy or girl, they worked so much that they signed, they were nearly fainting, So this is where it started, really, that was really nice to see a person. Wow, they worked like
he died from overwork.
It's something like that.
Yeah, there's a diagnosis in Japan. Death by overwork.
Death by stress.
No, but that was when it sort of started with this.
You can say that the more we speed it up, it was like our brains couldn't follow. You see, I heard people saying that these front cortex here they're only 250,000 years old.
That's true. Yeah.
So, and for this body, it's not a long time. And for the rest of
the brain, it's about 500 million years old, the reptilian brain, 500 million. So 250,000, it's not that much.
It's not that much. No. It's like, whoa, it's brand new. So we're first learning how to deal with this. And of course, it's doing a lot of stuff and has a lot to do with meditation. So we are really not made for this kind of living where it moves so fast. I mean, we can't follow, and it's perfect for the ego because we will lose ourselves so fast. So in the same way, I can see if I really go into a city which is very stressful, it's like I have like 3 days and then I'm in it like the rest of them.
You mean you adapt to the
stress and the environment. The high frequency. It's just there in a city which is like that. I'm not saying all cities is like that, but I see a lot of that kind of mental awareness about what work is affecting a lot of people, and this is expected of you to do that. And some of that, I would say, it's madness.
Yeah.
Towards knowing what meditation is. It's like you're allowed to yourself to be violent on yourself.
Yeah.
When that word work it's in a sentence. It's like madness is appearing nearly. Of course, it's not for all of it, but you can really be tough on you because it's work.
Yeah.
And also for your kids, you understand this is work.
Yeah.
Then the kids goes back, that work, that's a strong one.
Yeah.
So
that is working now.
That's a strong one, that's you put that card, everybody leaves the room.
Yeah, that's more important.
It's more important than children, than everything else. And this is maybe telling a little bit how unbalanced this area is. And I think actually what the COVID-19 also is showing us, there's different ways of doing this. But I think also it has been tough with a lot of people because I'm not saying everybody, but I think sometimes we like to escape. And it's not really escaping, it's just changing of environment. And this is something I do at one time, and I do this, and I do this, and I do this. So it's just like we're having different approaches to life and different environment in life. And when a lot of that is cut off, there's not so many environments left, and this is where it becomes a little tight. But actually, that's what we want to do when we want to reach into the deep level of who we are. And to isolate yourself, to put yourself to sit in a position like that, it will be very painful in a short while.
Yeah, I mean, I can actually feel it here in the butt.
It is quite painful after an hour or something. And and there you just go into that where you are the consciousness here for the body. So it means that there you're not that pain. It's just something passing by.
Usually we're so quickly to go from place to place, from people to people and situations. So we never really get to experience these kind of emotions and sensations because we're gone. Yeah,
we actually just are trying to escape a lot of the time. And there it has a lot to do with understanding what meditation is. Also what is the consciousness energy and what is the physical energy. And this is a plus and minus, and sometimes it's a little bit hard to have that one energy around the physical. It actually we like to numb ourselves, we like to escape, we like to
drink alcohol.
So it's not, and we like to escape in a job, we like to escape in extreme sport. Even people are using meditation or yoga or something to escape in, extreme sport and so on.
And when you say escape, do you mean to not be present? Or
it means that you're running away from what is in here already.
Okay,
And that could be some fear.
Yeah.
Because this is step one. You need to take care of your inner child. So it's the inner child saying something is wrong. You need to look at me. So instead of that, no, I just drink some beers and then you are becoming at ease. Yeah, you will that for some days. And that's a long time you can drink, but one day you can't drink anymore, and then it really comes up even worse, and then you really need harder liquid. I tried all of that to really suppress yourself, but now we're talking meditation. We don't suppress anything, we let go and we go deeper into what is here in the body. And the inner child, the emotion is now knowing how to embrace these emotions, to love them. And thereby they're actually being neutralized. Until then, they will be like a child you haven't listened to for a very long time, and they will try to pull your shirt or your jacket saying, listen to me, and you say, no, I don't want to, I just drink. And this is, or work, And at one point, it's just, you have to turn around and go into and lift up that inner child and just sit with it and letting it tell its story.
So it seems like COVID-19 is probably offering this space to a lot of people. Unless you escape deeper into online work, of course, which is possible.
Or drinking more, or whatever you do.
But this gives us a unique chance, or what do you think, to actually...
It does.
Look at these feelings.
Yes. It gives us this unique chance of coming deep into who we are, as in the level of who we are as consciousness, and it gives us that ability to awaken ourselves. to who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So really to sink deep into and allow deep into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, do you see that more people are finding an interest in retreats now that you say stress seems to have been rising in society the past decades?
I definitely see that the retreat is building up. It's more and more. It's even becoming more and more accessible for people, and I see people have it in the language saying, I do this, I do that, and there's so many people that's really relating into this is how we do it. This is how we maneuver in life instead of just choosing this numbness. So I see people are choosing life itself. They have maybe seen too many people numbing themselves and knowing that's not the way. We kind of see where it ends up.
Yeah,
it's shown for us so much because it's all over the place.
People had enough.
Yeah.
Is that a feeling that you get?
I see that they have seen people really trying to numb themselves, and it's not the way. And because this, you see, you don't need to be very brave to drink a lot of beers. Or whatever it is.
Need to have a little bit of money. And
but the other things we're doing, you really need to be brave when we are doing what we are doing.
It takes courage to face your fears.
It really takes courage to face the fears.
It's your shame and
yes,
things.
There's all these things because they're so deeply rooted in who we are, and it goes so much for the root chakra to feel safe. And when people don't feel safe, they think they should be safe in the future, and they will have that by having a job. This is the story, or a family, and if I just had that, everything will be good. But I have to have it out in the future. It's not that. It's not who I am now. And thereby then cancel themselves all the time.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. Please stop doing this because this is violent to you. You need to stand up for you as you are right now and knowing you're good enough.
Yeah.
Bring that love into where you are in that present moment. Retreat into you. Get that practice going. Get that knowledge about how do I do it. Awaken yourself. And there is a much smoother ride. And you already succeeded.
Yeah.
And this is so beautiful. And it's so easy, but it's so tough to do for some. Because I tried that. I know how tough it is when you lost yourself completely. And then turn around and get yourself back.
And it is easy to say, well, in the future I'll get there.
Yes, that is just a perfect escape.
It is a perfect escape.
It's a perfect escape for who you are.
But do you think that COVID has helped some people realize that we cannot control everything, and by letting go of this control, we sort of open up to this freedom of being in the present moment?
I definitely see some, but I definitely also see some is coming out much, much worse. And hopefully, because it's getting so narrow to be in that body that it has to turn around. And turning around means that you are awakening yourself to who you are as consciousness. Not trying to solve the thing in future or in physical things, but knowing you already are that. And when you then do things in future, you're just not doing it to succeed. You're doing it in that matter that is just for fun. But you already are love. You already succeeded. So there's a huge difference if you're doing things in the future to think now I'm gonna be happy, or knowing that I am happy and now I do something for the fun. And not for me to get fully me because I'm already there, but I'm just doing it for the fun of it.
And potentially because it makes the world a little tiny bit better.
It does. Definitely. For you, and this is what you need to understand. So what you do for you is what you're going to give the world. You see, because you're going to be that example. And when people see that you've done that for you, what happened with you? That looks nice. You see, I want to do the same. Instead of you should just do, I want to fix you. You should just go like that. You see, it's such a different approach to life. So you need to be that example. Don't talk about it because it's going to be different for everybody else. But you can tell your story, you can do you, and you can be you, and they're awaken, and thereby, like the mirror neurons, it will awaken.
Exactly.
It's like rings in the water from a stone thrown in that lake.
I think that was a really beautiful insight to take away from this a really unusual period in all of our lives.
You can say that.
And we've been talking a little bit about this, the act of retreating, taking a step back, and how COVID has offered us this chance.
Yes.
How you should be really brave to face your emotions and your feelings, and that way, be present with love with them, and that's the way to transform.
It is the way to transform, and maybe just to put that, when emotion is nearly matter, it means that it's physical somewhere in your body. So don't go up in the head with it. This is actually the escape from the emotion. So you just want to bring the awareness, the breath, into where the emotion is. It could be in the stomach here, chest, throat, whatever, in your hands, tickling, burning, cold, stiffness. You just bring that awareness in towards it, breathe into it, be with it, allow it to be. I'm allowed to have it like this. And this is just the way to do it, and it's as simple as it's said right there. But you need to be able to meditate before you can start that tool to work. Because this is brought together, and then it works.
So if you do want to dive deeper into this and to learn how to meditate, then you offer a lot of retreats.
I do.
And if you're not living in Denmark or Scandinavia, then you can retreat all over the world. So there's always a chance to get to know yourself better.
There's so many retreat places. Use them. And gather up, and because we are opening up our heart energy by gathering people together, and this is what we need to do. Open our heart space. Yes.
So with these words, I would like to end with a guided meditation, which Jesper is going to do for us.
Yes.
Let's
just do it. It's just gonna be a short one to end this, and maybe just go into that heart energy. And just search in the body. Are there any emotion? Maybe we should just do it like that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So let's
ready
do that.
to face my emotions.
Yeah, if we have some right now. So just really allow you to just sit here, to be present with you, and take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Put in all of that attention and reach into your heart, your chest area here. Just go with that. And just really sense that way that the chest is moving a little bit. So also the shoulder is having a little movement. Stomach does the same. But really, there in the chest is that. Allowing this, just reaching in to your heart. And some can really reach in so they actually nearly can feel the heart, and it's pumping, it's vital. It's pumping the blood. So they really move into the chest and the breath, of course. Cold wind in the nose coming in. Letting go again. Really just breathe into your heart, sense the way it's moving the chest, allowing, opening up this heart energy, this space, filling out that chest, rest of the body, just really this sensation of you're here with you, you're present with you. It's to fill up this space which is your body with who you are, consciousness itself. It means that consciousness about the foot, the lower legs, the upper legs, hip area, stomach, chest, shoulder, upper arms, lower arms, to the fingertips, bottom of the spine, up here the back, chest area, shoulder, the neck, throat, the jaws, the cheeks, the eyes, the forehead, top of the head, and the breath. Breathing deep, deep, deep in your chest and your stomach. And then from here it's just, are there any emotion in the body? Just really be quiet here. And if there are any emotion, any energy, remember these emotion, energy is nearly physical. So they are matter. And where that matter, physical, energy, emotion is expressing itself, you're breathing in towards, allowing to be as it is. I'm allowed to have it like this. It could also be pain in the body. Just breathe into that area where you feel the pain the most. Allow it. Surrender. Remember the breath. I'm here for you. It means you consciousness is here for the body. And whatever experience the body have in this present moment, I'm allowing it. I'm allowing to have it like this. And I'm here for you. I love you. Breathe. Allow. I'm here. Take a couple of very, very deep breaths. Deep, deep, deep down in your stomach. Let go again. And the next one, exhaling, just open your eyes slowly, but not faster than you can still be here observing the breath, the cold wind coming in again, the exhale, inhale, breathing, allowing, I'm here for you, loving you, and the space itself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jesper.
Thank you. What a nice time.
What a nice
Thank
time.
you for coming here and doing this podcast with me.
Yeah, it's been really wonderful. And I hope that you enjoyed this, and for more resources to access Jesper's meditation, I'll post them in the comments so you can do this at any time. Thank you.
Thank you.